G'day, welcome to Twisted Metal Customs. You're with Twisty, and this episode we're going to be doing an experimental paint job on the Drift Nissan Silvia. So obviously it's a drift car. As you can see here, I don't want to bore you with it, but the last couple of weeks we're doing rust repair and doing all the necessities to get this thing, ready for paint. So it's pretty much up in epoxy primer as we speak. I want to do an experimental paint job, and this is what this episode's about. It's not following the beaten track. It's something that probably shouldn't be done, and it may not work too, but again, it's just a drift car, so at the end of the day, if it looks like a pile of crap, it still would have looked better than what it did. So win-win, and I get to have a bit of fun mixing up this paint. So put it all up on a bench here, which is probably smarter anyway, and we'll just go quickly through what we're going to be using and why. It's probably not the smartest thing to do what I'm going to be doing. First of all, we've got it in epoxy primer. So I can either go over with a surface primer, a non-sandable surface primer, so that will seal it all off into one color. But I'm not going to do that because it's already in pre-prepped 400 to 500 grit stage now, ready for paint, and it's a drift car. For paint wise, what I'm going to do, this is my plan. Comment below if you think it's stupid. We'll see. So this is so this is a 500 series of De Beer Barrow base. So this is mixed 50 to 50 with thinners and this color. So it's a clear over base product, so 2K. And let's have a look at the silver. It's silver metallic. So that's locked in. I'm going to paint that in over the base first as a silver metallic base for the rest of this product. So then I've got two different ideas, okay? So this is why it's not going to really work, or it could work, but it shouldn't be done, is that this is a 2000 series Barrow Mix black. Basically, it's like a single stage with gloss already mixed into the black. It's not a clear over base product, it's already a single stage. So you paint it on, you're done. So the reason why I've got this is because this is going to be the main next coat, is a Merlot red. So Merlot red, it's pretty dark, but I don't want to just do a Merlot red, and it's about experimenting, right? So I'm going to try to either one of two things: mix black into my 50-50 thinned Merlot red. Even though it's a single stage, I'm only going to be needing a little bit, so I'm hoping that the single stage part of that will just sort of melt in with the thinners and just tint this darker. I have no idea if it's going to react or cause havoc or delamination later on. I don't know, and I'll be the guinea pig to try it out. Many of you probably already have tried this, and it might work, it might not work, but I don't know. And if I make a mistake, I'm never going to forget it. The other alternative is, instead of using black, I actually have a single stage metallic blue, which we painted the XP Falcon, this car in. It's actually a Hilux blue, but it's single stage, so same deal as it. I can only tint it a little bit, but I'm thinking I'm going to go black in the red, over top of silver, and then a couple of coats of clear. That's the plan. So we'll get mixing. Well, actually, we've got to prep this car, and then we'll get painting, and then you'll see the stages. Okay, so when you're prepping a car, I'm not going to go too much into prep information and stuff. It's not really about that, this video, but when you do go into prep, if you're doing a metallic base, you should probably finish at least 600 grit before you put the metallic on, or the mica or metallic base you're putting on, because the metallic flakes can get stuck in the 400 grit sand scratches. And then I've also hitting it and continue to hit it with the Scotch Brite red Velcro back for the Orbi. So that's going to sort of bring it up to a little bit smoother. So I'm going to run around now with this and just make sure you buzz off the whole car, make sure it's all been touched, all the crevices everywhere. Any final bad stuff that I've missed, I'll give it a touch up. Remember, if you're doing this at home in your shed, it's only early, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, it's still quite cold, so there's going to be a lot of condensation in that compressor, and I've only got 2 knockout pots, but if you only have the one, hopefully you have at least one, you're gonna get a lot of moisture, a lot of water. So you're better off painting warmer part of the day, so you're not getting that condensation, because water droplets coming out of the gun, if you've got a little leak in your gun, they'll just form drips and drip on your paintwork. If you can, do it later in the day, but you've got a certain window, you've got to get everything on then before it gets too cold again in the afternoon. Alrighty, looks like we're mixing. Everything's pretty well set up. It's just a shed respray. It's not a dirt floor, which is great. It's still concrete, but yeah, do your best to clean the area for contaminants. You can wet down the floor and stuff, but I'm not going to. As I said, it's not a majorly important spray job. It's just a track car, so do whatever you can to prevent contaminants. I normally use my FLG 5 gun, but the plastic cups that hold the insert cups in, I forgot it, so we're using this one here, Evo T. It's 1.3 mil tip, which is fine. It's a good all-rounder. Digital gauge on here, about 30 psi, give or take. Make sure you double check your gun before you start spraying, because many a times I've started spraying thinking, oh yeah, I cleaned it last time, but it just takes one little speck in the tip to create a bad spray pattern, or you get blockage or whatever. So yeah, see, look at that. I cleaned this last time and it's got gunk just sitting there. So I must have just come out, or I didn't do a very good job. So I'll get this cleaned properly, put a bit of thinners in there, give it a spray out, test the pattern before you go ahead and mix your paint. So this is a 500 series barrow base, so it's 50-50 mix. So I put 800 mil in, that's going to bring it up to 1.6 litres, which is well and truly enough for 2 coats, but I don't want to have to stop during the painting process to mix more paint, because you'll get a dry edge and you'll leave powder on top. So you want it pretty much ready to go, pour it, keep going. So I'm using the Uni Thinner Slow, so it should take a lot longer for it to dry. Gives me more time to get around the car to meet up with the old wet edge, so it doesn't dry. We are exactly 50-50. Slow thinner. I'm nervous. Oh yeah. So give us a good thorough stirring. Give it a good chance for it all to thin out. I know some people you see on YouTube, they sort of just give it a couple stirs and then put it in a cup, but 20 extra seconds gives me the peace of mind that it's properly, thoroughly mixed. We're going to start on the bumpers first. Give it a feel, give it a shakedown, make sure there's nothing wrong before we start on the car. Bumpers and stuff are less important. We can always just do them again later, so keep that in mind. I'm using around 28 psi. That might change as I feel it, see how it sprays on. I'm using a 1.3 tip. It's still slightly thicker than I expected with 50-50 mix. It's probably around 25 degrees, 22 to 25 degrees, so it's not that hot of a day. With this slow mix, it should give us a fair bit of time. But you got to be careful that it might sag if you put it on too thick, and you get a big run and drip. So put it on medium coat. I wouldn't go too thick, just enough coverage, but don't sit there and you're just literally colouring it. You're not trying to get billed, okay? Fingers crossed, see how many runs I get. that went on pretty good, I think, considering, you know, where we're at, I guess. You would have seen me do normal paint and then I did like a cross hatch, or I pulled back a bit. Basically with metallics, it's really easy to get mottling or stripes, like tiger stripes. So what I do personally, don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I do my paint as best as I can, wide fan. But while I'm on that section, I'll just go back over it diagonally or a different pattern, but pull the gun back a little bit. So it brings a wider spray pass pattern and blends it all in. And I've had pretty good success with it. Just what I do. If you're having trouble with that, give that a go. I do have a few water drops that came out on the bumpers and stuff at the start. We tried to clean the water out as much as we could, but it is what it is. It's going to happen. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it still, whatever. It's going to be fine to shred tires around a corner of a track on. So now the scary part. So I'm going to mix probably the same amount, probably 750, just like before, but I'm going to add a measurement amount of the black in, and hopefully it mixes in and just goes dark. So I have no idea what's going to happen. This could be either a waste of money or a terrible paint job. So experimentation time. So let's get it done. Still a bit fumey. I want to put my mask back on. So I'll mix this in and try to get the thinners all through it. Look, honestly, it's probably a smart idea to just try a little mixed batch with the black in it, like 50-50 with the base mix, then add the black, in case it does just turn it to shit. I'm not sure, will we do that? No. You're nodding. Because obviously it's pretty nice colour still, mellow. Like, it's pretty nice colour. I just wanted a darker, like a cherry red. So what I'll do, maybe I'll just do a few drops on the lid. So let's just simulate this if we're going to do a blend. So one drop. Seems like it's meshing in all right. Like, seriously, all it's going to do is thin out the clear that's in the black to a point where it's pretty much non-existent, right? Like, that looks pretty cool though. Pretty dark cherry. Let's put some more in. It's pretty, it's almost like bronze. All right, we're just going to try some red and blue and see what happens. Definitely a lot more purple. As we have black in the purple one now. It's like a galaxy purple. It's pretty hard to see on the camera. I don't know what to do. What do you reckon? The dark is going to hide the dents and stuff we didn't get, so you reckon this one? So whatever we do now, we've got to add a bit more thinners in to combat what we put in. We decided to wing it, so I'm going to just tip it in and just see what happens. Wish us luck. I'm not going to be able to do that much. It didn't change it very much, did it? It's definitely darker. So this is what I was worried about, adding a single stage into base paint. You know, it still could be very bad. We don't know yet. It could be very, very bad. But as you can see that colour come up. What do you reckon? Bit of black in it? Darken it down a bit.
Purple.
A bit more black? Or a bit, some black in it? Oh! We're going to end up with just black. Well, that's pretty good. Bit more blue? God help us if we have to make this paint again for a repair, because I have no idea how much we put in. It's getting better. It's like a copper.
What are you going to call it now? It's a new range.
I'm going to call it Twisted Metal Vomit. I have no idea. I'll figure it out when I look at it. But what do you think it needs more? Darker?
Yeah,
I don't want it too pinky. I want it like more cherry, so I'll give it a good old healthy dose of black. We do have a little bit more red if we need, or even silver if you wanted to lighten up a bit. It's pretty velvety, isn't it?
Twisty plum.
Twisted plum.
Plum.
I don't know what it needs. It's nice. Let's go check it in the sun. It's pretty nice. It's got blue flake in it. I can see the blue flake and then the
Very nice.
purple flake.
I think if you put 2 coats on it, it would go dark.
I don't think I've got enough for 2 coats. I've only got enough for 1 healthy coat. I'm thinking it needs to go darker. It's a little bit too, girly for me still. What? Too much? It doesn't change very much. Yeah, I want to go darker, but I don't know how much I should add. I think I need to thin it out a bit more too.
I reckon you definitely have enough for 2 coats.
Well, I'm getting there. It's going to be like mostly just single stage. I'll have to split it in 2 different cups. I actually didn't intend for this to be purple, everyone. And so far it's looking good. It doesn't look like it's reacting really bad. It's meshing in pretty good. It will need a bit more thinners now since we've added like 300 ml of single stage into it. I think that's getting pretty close to the deepest we can get it, because it's not really changing much now. I can make it a little bit more purplier with more blue. Let's just do a little dab. So that's the color currently. If I add more blue into it, yeah, it changes it to a purpley plum color, more like a plum crazy. I don't know, what do you reckon? I think maybe stick with this. What do you reckon? She shrugged, if anybody didn't guess that. Let's just send it. Let's put this in. Well, let's mix it and add more black, or no? Should we add more black? I feel like we should add more black. Let's add more black. I'm running out of space though. One more last ditch effort of black. All right, that'll do. Whatever that is, that's it. Whoever's a genius, work out how much we use so we can redo repairs later. This is what's the fun part of painting, when it's something that's not your pride and joy, or you know, it's not going to sit in the shed locked up, or go to car events where it's got to be like scientific. You know, some of the best cars, best fun cars I've had are just, you know, Bitzers or dailies, or just, you know, mess around cars like this one. It's, you actually have fun when you're building it, doing things like this. It's pretty cool. All right, watch me spill this whole freaking cup. Yeah. More. About the same there. You want some paper towel? Just giving a quick tack cloth down because it's been sitting for about 30 minutes now. Get any fibres and lint off. You can see, say here for example, the scratches. I don't know if you've seen the right angle. Maybe come around this side. There and there. If you can see them, that's because metallic really shows up any scratches. So that's why they say, you know, 800 grit sandpaper is recommended. Here we go. Okie dokie, so I've finished the clear, and first of all, is it perfect? No, absolutely not. It's not perfect, and we never wanted this to be a perfect paint job. I've said it about 50 times. It's a drift car. I just wanted to get rid of that blue and make it a little bit better than what it was. But in saying that, it come up pretty bloody good, excuse my French, for a, yeah, I'll just turn it around. Hey, look at that. How good does that cherry, custom made, experimental paint mix combo, Twisted Metal Custom Special came out? I think it came out pretty good. It's beautiful dark cherry. I don't know what specific color you would call it, but it's weird because in the shadows, it actually looks really, really dark. But then when you look at it on the light, like in the actual light refraction, it's like copper. Like it's got that glow hue there. And then it's got the nice dark shadows if you look like on the side of the car. So in the sun, I cannot wait to get in the sun. It's still wet at the moment. But okay, so pros and cons, I mean the good and the bad, blah, blah, blah. So the color mix that we did, I've got to have that fan going, apologies. It's still pretty fumey in here. But yeah, so the color mix we did worked brilliantly. No issues with it whatsoever. I think that if you mix too much single stage into the base, like too much proportional wise, that it's going to have too much clear, and then you might have some dramas with the base, like trying to dry like a clear with like a single stage. I would say with that single stage mix into the base, I would just say be careful how much you actually put in. In my opinion, like tinting like we did, we probably did about 20%. I think it's fine. I wouldn't probably go any more than that because it was getting really sticky like the clear in the single stage. It was trying to dry, but it actually worked really good. I added a bit more thinners in it just to combat that. But yeah, so color mixing went really well for an experiment. So overall, for putting it on pretty thick, I think you can see a little bit, yeah, like it's actually pretty flat. I don't know if you can see, like, see that reflection there? Oh, don't get me started on the contaminants. The freaking water, I've got 2 lots of filters and the water was just like ridiculously bad. Like I purged the tank, done all the hose lines and just kept getting a heap of condensate in the hose line. So a lot of issues with water hitting the panel through the base and even some in the clear. But you know, again, if this was any other car, I would have stopped and then, like, if any issues, just stop and fix it, because obviously you push through, you can have so much more dramas and stuff later on to have to fix for a good car. So, but being a drift car, just slap it on in. So I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. It's pretty sick in my opinion. That color is unbelievable. I have no idea how I'm ever going to replicate it, but there you go. And we're going drifting this weekend. So all this is done a couple of days before we're going drifting. So I'll hopefully have this all buttoned back up out in the sun, and then we'll go for a track day. My first ever track day in this car. So yeah, we'll put some clips on the end. And if you watch this far, I appreciate it. And hopefully you learned something, what to do and what not to do. And let's go get some fun happening in this car. Been working towards it for a long time, getting this engine running good. So yeah, thanks for watching.